Litchfield knows a thing or two about tuning front-engined, four-wheel drive performance cars. Little wonder the Gloucestershire company has turned its attention to the brilliant Toyota GR Yaris already. In fact, Litchfield has not one but two GR Yaris development cars. They're both a work in progress and there's much more to come, but we couldn't resist dropping in to see what Litchfield has managed so far. Both cars have the optional circuit pack. This pure white one is used for suspension development. It runs Nitron coilovers, which are two-way adjustable through 25 damper clicks. When I drove it, the car was configured somewhere in the middle, so you could go much firmer or softer with the suspension if you liked. The car sits 40mm closer to the road, looking even more mean and menacing. Expect to pay £2,600 fully fitted, aligned and ready to go.
Here's something you don't hear very often from a tuning company. We wanted to make the car more comfortable. But that's exactly what Ian Litchfield said to me this morning when he was talking me through his upgrades for the Toyota GR Yaris. They wanted to improve the ride. It's a really important point. They didn't just stick on rock solid springs and dampers to make it feel like a racing car, which would have been a disaster on the road. Instead, they've worked really hard with Nitron to improve the car's ride, to make it more supple, to make it more usable day to day, but also so that the car, the chassis, deals with a bumpy road in a more sophisticated way. A factory spec GR Yaris with the circuit pack, that has got a tense, busy ride. I think after a long day in the driver's seat, particularly on a motorway journey, that tense, busy ride is going to get to you. It is going to annoy you. And that's what Litchfield wanted to do with this car, was just to iron it out a little bit, settle the ride, and it has worked. It's also worth noting that in all the time I've been driving this car today, not once has a tyre scraped up against the inside of a wheel arch. That's quite surprising because the car sits so much lower to the ground than a factory one. But at no point today have I heard that horrible sound that you get when a tyre gets pressed against the inside of the arch. The real benefit though of this upgraded Nitron suspension is the quality of the damping. Honestly, it's standout good. What do I mean by that? The best Porsche GT cars have this very particular feel in terms of their damping, in terms of the way they deal with a bumpy and uneven road. They have this perfect blend of ironclad body control, but then the wheels, the tyres are kept pressed hard into the road where they can generate grip. It's perfect. The wheels and tyres squashed down into the road, body kept perfectly still. That ultimately is the job of the suspension, and those Porsche GT cars, they do it better than almost anything else. This uprated Litchfield GR Yaris, it does the same thing. It's so impressive, I have to say. What it means is you have so much confidence in the car because you know the tyres are generating really good, consistent grip. You know the body is under really tight control. And so you just hammer along a challenging, typically British B road, just so confident in the car. So the ride is slightly better. The car looks meaner because it's sitting so much closer to the road. The damping, that's been improved massively. Body control is really good. Pliancy over bumps is exceptional. And of course, this suspension is adjustable, two-way adjustable, so for bump and rebound. And that means if you're driving on very smooth roads, for instance, or going on track, you can make it firmer, you can make the suspension stiffer, so that you've got even sharper response and even tighter body control. Yeah, it's such a good upgrade. In my first video on the GR Yaris, I said that my one frustration with the car is that you have to be driving like a man possessed to get the best out of it. You have to be prepared to drive really hard on the road for this car to come to life. That is still the case. The car's fundamental character hasn't changed. But at least now, when you are driving really hard on the road, you'll have exceptional damping.
Litchfield's precious black, yep, that really is what the paint colour is called, GR Yaris is used for engine development. For now, it simply runs a £600 plug-and-play tuning box, which raises boost pressure, increasing power from 261 horsepower to 302, and torque from 266 pound-foot to 284. Not enormous gains, but you really feel the uprated engine pulling harder through the mid-range and into the top end. The really big power gains will come soon, once Litchfield has cracked the ECU and developed new intake and exhaust systems. And there's more to come elsewhere too, like adapted seat runners that lower the front seats by 1.5 inches. As far as the Toyota GR Yaris is concerned, the best is clearly yet to come. Thank you for watching this PistonHeads video. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and head over to PistonHeads.com.